Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am joined by guest Cincere Koonce to talk about the Celtics winning Game 3 of the NBA Finals against the Warriors. Despite the Warriors being able to come back from being down by 18 points in the second quarter, they still lost by a considerable margin as the Celtics won by 16 points. However, the main news from Game 3 of the NBA Finals was Steph Curry getting injured late in the ball game as Al Horford collided with Steph Curry on a loose ball. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So, here it is. What is your reaction to the Celtics winning Game 3 versus the Warriors in the NBA Finals?
They were so dominant on defense, and it was life taking for us because even though we were able to come back for a little bit, at least for a little bit in the 18-point lead, they were just so resilient and so consistent. They had so much firepower, and they weren't able to get let out because defensively they figured us out offensively, and then even though Curry and Clay kind of showed up. Curry had 31 and Clay kind of got his touch again. The role players, in my opinion, didn't show up enough. So I feel like Curry and Clay didn't have enough help in the meantime. But I know they did their part. But not to discredit Boston because they did what they're supposed to do offensively and defensively. But defense won them the game pretty much.
Yeah, man. I agree with you. The Golden State Warriors, they had their splash bros show up. Steph Curry scores 31 points on 12 of 22 shooting. Klay Thompson, he finally has a good game in the finals this year. 25 points. He shoots 5 of 13 from the three-point line, 7 of 17 from the field. However, outside of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins, the rest of this Golden State Warriors might as well have not even showed up on their floor. And let me give credit to the Boston Celtics defense. Man, they were so suffocating. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they were knocking down their shots, but they were making the Warriors work for every bucket. My goodness, man. It's like the only place that worked for the Golden State Warriors was pick and roll, Steph Curry go ahead and shoot a three, or set up some action for Klay Thompson to where he could shoot a three. And other than that, nothing else was going to work because they was putting them on lockdown. And let me call out Draymond Green. Draymond Green, he's a three-time NBA champion. He played 35 minutes in this game. He put up 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and he got himself fouled out. He played pretty awful in that game. And you could tell the Golden State Warriors, they are a different team when Kevin Durant is not playing for the Golden State Warriors in the finals. When Kevin Durant was playing major minutes for the Golden State Warriors in the finals, they were 2-0. Without him, well, they're on the verge of going potentially 1-3 if they go on to lose the series. And I want to go ahead and talk about Steph Curry's injury. How concerned are you about his injury?
From the history that he has, it's not too many background years where he was consistently hurt because he's always been healthy and always worked on his body and everything. So I think that he'll be 80% on Friday. But if it's a huge tear by today, yeah, he might not be 100%. And if he's not 100%, we're not winning Game 3.
Game 4, you mean? But yeah.
Game 4. Yeah, Game 4. We're not winning Game 4 if he's not even 80%.
Yeah. Right now, as a Warriors guy, because I've been a Warriors guy, as all of y'all know, you're a Warriors guy as well. I'm hoping and hoping Steph Curry is going to go ahead and suit up for Game 4. I don't care if Steph Curry is less than 50% available to go. If he can walk, he's got to play Game 4. Because if he doesn't play in Game 4, Golden State Warriors are not going to win this game. And they're not going to win this series at all. Look, they're down 2-1. They need to desperately win Game 4. Now, look, I had a guest on yesterday, and I also made this pick too. Yesterday, my guest, A-Troy from the A-Troy Talk Show, he said that the Golden State Warriors were going to win by 22 points. Obviously, that didn't happen. I said the Golden State Warriors, they were going to win by 6 points. Obviously, that didn't happen either. I thought that Game 3, for me, was more winnable for the Golden State Warriors than it was for Game 4. Because if the Warriors had won Game 3, there would have been less pressure for them to win a Game 4. Now all the pressure is on Golden State, on the road, in that hostile environment in Boston. In Boston, they're playing with house money right now. Look, as long as they play what they're supposed to do, they're going to be fine come Game 4. Assuming, of course, Marcus Smart is going to keep shooting from the field. But I'm telling you what, man, Steph Curry, if he can walk, he's got to play. I don't care if he's 100% healthy. If he wants to win this championship for his team, he's got to play for them, because if Steph Curry is missing any time in the series, Boston Celtics are going to win that game, and they're going to win that series rather easily. If Steph Curry misses game 4 and possibly game 5, the Boston Celtics are going to win the series in 5 games. This is coming from a guy who picked the Warriors to win this series in 7 games. But also, I want to point out some things that I've been surprised about, because, yeah, Boston's up 2-1, but the Boston Celtics have been shooting crazy from the field. I mean, Marcus Smart, a career, what is he? He's like basically a career 32.5% three-point shooter. In the finals, he's shooting 41.2%. I don't know whether or not that's going to be sustainable. When is Marcus Smart going to cool off? Man, he keeps making every single shot they keep giving him. Like, he's getting guarded tightly on these three-pointers, and he's knocking them down. Like, what are the Warriors' defense supposed to do when Marcus Smart is knocking down threes at an insane rate for his standards? And Jason Tatum, yeah, he's only shooting 33.9%. Not great. However, from the three-point line, he's shooting 43.5% from the three-point line. And Jaylen Brown, now look, Jaylen Brown, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's playing good. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's averaging 22.7 points per game so far in the finals as well. And also, I want to call out another three-point sniper for the Boston Celtics, Derek White. When did Derek White all of a sudden become the best shooter in the game of basketball? He's shooting 46.7%. They're making every single shot they can make right now. I mean, you have to think at some point the Boston Celtics are going to go ahead and cool off. I mean, look, if Marcus Smart and Derek White keep hitting threes, what are the Warriors supposed to do? I mean, look, if Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown do what they're supposed to do, okay, that's one thing. But their role players are stepping up big time, and they're playing like all-stars from the three-point line. I mean, I don't know what the Warriors are supposed to do on the defensive end of the floor, but I'll tell you what, though, Draymond Green, he's got to play big time in Game 4. He cannot play like he did in Game 3, because if he plays like he did in Game 3, it's going to be very difficult for the Warriors to win this series.
Yeah, and Boston, Jalen Tatum and Smart, that they actually did historical numbers last night. They were like the first trio since Magic and a few others to actually score over 20 points in a game. So it's really historic for them. So I believe that's the best game they ever had just off of that. So they really put in the work in the paint, and they were tough defensively, of course.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Spaced out the floor well and everything like that.
Yeah, and I was watching Game 3. I was watching the whole thing. I was seeing the Celtics knock down everything. I'm like, oh my goodness. Man, the Celtics, they're just bigger. They're just getting into more boards. And they're just knocking down everything. I mean, shoot, they've been using the Golden State players like they're traffic cones, for goodness sake. Because that's how much impact these Warriors players have had on the defensive end of the floor when the Boston Celtics are playing offense. These players are just traffic cones to them. Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. He was getting hunted down on defense. Like, when he was guarding Jason Tatum, I guarantee you Jason Tatum didn't even feel Steph Curry. He probably was like, shit, this is, you know what? This is a traffic cone. Let me go ahead and blow past him like it's nothing. Because either Steph Curry going to have to foul, or you're going to have to, get burned on the shot. So the way I'm looking at it, man, I'm telling you, this Steph Curry injury that happened late in Game 3, that's bad news for the Golden State Warriors, because he is everything to their offense. Steph Curry is by far their number one producer on the offensive end of the floor. And they better hope that closeout Klay Thompson better come early in the Game 4, because if it doesn't happen, I don't see how the Golden State Warriors are going to come back from down 3-1. I just can't see it. I mean, despite Klay Thompson struggling in the first 2 games, he's actually their second leading scorer for the Warriors. Steph Curry's number 1 for them, but Klay Thompson is actually number 2, but he's only scoring 17 points, and he's still only shooting 34% from the field. That can't cut it. Klay Thompson, he's got to shoot better than that from the field, because otherwise, this is going to be a long series for the Golden State Warriors. So let me go ahead and ask you this. Who do you got winning Game 4?
Golden State, I still have faith in them. As long as Curry is healthy, and his legs get better, I think we can bounce back. We haven't lost back to back yet, so I don't think it's gonna happen this time.
Yeah, and both of these teams are so resilient. It's like the Boston Celtics and Golden State Warriors. They don't know how to lose 2 in a row. I'm not going to make Game 4 picks right now. I'm actually going to save that for tomorrow, for tomorrow's video. I may have a guest, I might not have, depending how I'm feeling. But I'll say this: whoever wins Game 4, I think is going to go on to win the series, whether that's the Boston Celtics or the Golden State Warriors. Although I will say, though, that if Golden State does come back from a 3-1 deficit, that would be kind of ironic in and of itself, considering the history
Yeah.
of them blowing a 3-1 lead in the finals. Imagine if they was on the other side of coming back from down 3-1. But I would rather prefer the Warriors would just go ahead and win game 4, save the
Yeah, it's a way better situation.
Yeah,
So much better.
for sure. They need to win game 4 because if they don't win game 4, being down 3-1, heading back to their home place for game 5 and having come back to Boston game 6, and if they somehow overcome all that, come back game 7 at Chase Center, man, that just seems too difficult of a road path. I said the Warriors have to go ahead, take care of business in game 4. And if you're the Golden State Warriors, don't be afraid to play small ball. That's where I'm at with this Warriors team. Don't be afraid to play small ball. They've won championships playing small ball before. I think they have to go back and go ahead and use small ball. I know Boston's bigger, but they got to get those rim protectors playing on the perimeter on the outside, or else basically they got to get 4 shooters and they got to get Kevon Looney. If Draymond Green's struggling the way he has in game 4, don't be afraid to pull him out. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, you got the Golden State Warriors win game 4. And I'm going to ask you the final question of this. How concerned are you after the Warriors game 3 loss? Scale 1 to 10.
I say I'll say 5, 6 to 10. I'm concerned because we turned the ball over at a high rate. So we have to work on the on ball playing, making sure that we're efficient with the assists and everything. We don't turn the ball over because Boston and them are related to the turnover issues. I think like if we don't turn over the ball more, we'll be an equal match. Just like with Boston, if they don't turn the ball over, they can outmatch anybody.
So you think turnovers are going to be the difference?
Yes.
I'm at a 7.
If we don't turn the ball over,
question. Keep going.
Yeah, if we don't turn over the ball a lot, and we keep consistently spacing the floor, isolating, like, yeah, we'll match up better and we'll make the game closer.
Yeah, I'm at a 7 to answer my own question. I'm actually pretty concerned that they lost game 3. I thought game 3 would have been the easier game to win. Not saying the Warriors can't win game 4, but I thought that if you asked me before the series which game was more likely for the Warriors to win between games 3 and 4 at Boston, I would have said game 3 would have been more likely. Now, I'm not too sure about it, but they just got to go ahead, perform out there. Hopefully, Steph Curry didn't break or sprain anything, because if it's anything less than that, he's got to play game 4. It's the NBA Finals. He's an NBA superstar. He's got to go ahead and play out there. I'm actually somewhat concerned. You seem a little less concerned than I am. But either way, that we're hopeful that the Golden State Warriors are going to somehow pull out victory in game 4 and go on to win the series. All right, well, thanks for being on the show, man. Really appreciate you coming on here. All right, make sure you follow his Instagram at Cincere.Koonce so you can see some of his content that he posts on his Instagram page. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah, no problem. Check out my TikToks, guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, see ya, bro.
See ya.
Yup, bye. That was Cincere Koonce that you guys just heard. All right, so he seems to be somewhat concerned about the Golden State Warriors losing game 3. However, I am more concerned about the Warriors losing game 3 than he is. We're also trying to hope that Steph Curry can play any way that he can in game 4 and that the Boston Celtics can somehow cool off, because if not, the Boston Celtics are going to end up winning the NBA Finals. However, let's just see how things are going to play out. The Steph Curry injury will be the X factor heading into game 4 predictions. So that's just kind of how I'm looking at it. That's kind of how he also is looking at it. I'm also hoping that the Boston Celtics can eventually stop hitting so many threes and stop hitting so many shots, because their guys have been insanely efficient so far. So that is why the Celtics winning game 3 on their home floor was actually pretty impressive for them, as they are now up 2-1 on the Warriors. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in a future video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Dustin Tran and at Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter at Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking. talking.